The e-collar, the shock collar, the electric stimulation collar. So just to disclaim on this, I am wearing one of these right here on myself right now. This is a E Technologies e-collar. So E Technologies e-collar. I'm an authorized dealer. If you're interested after this video, or if you're in the market for a new e-collar, you can hit me up. But I want to talk about them for a little bit. The shock collar, shock collar. That's what we call it, the shock collar. And it's not to scare anyone, right? It's not to. It delivers electronic stimulation. It delivers a little shock. 0 to 100 on the dial. Also has a vibrator on it, so you can use that. Also has a tone on it, so you can use the tone if you want to use the tone. But the question is like, when is your dog old enough for you to start using an e-collar on? And truthfully, that's the wrong question, because it has nothing to do with age when you start using an e-collar. It has to do with, what does your dog know? Plain and simple. Because this does not train your dog. You can't train your dog a new behavior with the shock collar. There's even times that you don't even want to use the shock collar for a behavior they already know. So it's not about age when it comes to e-collars or shock collars. So what does your dog know? Why do you want to use an e-collar? Why do you want to use a shock collar? Why do you want to, do I think good, bad, or indifferent? Listen, man. People say, well, you can injure a dog. You can injure a dog with a leash. With a piece of rope, you can injure a dog, right? So it's not about injuring your dog. It's not about, can you hurt a dog with a shock collar? Absolutely. If used improperly, you can screw up a dog. If used improperly, you can screw up a dog with a leash. Probably more people screw up dogs with leashes than they do with shock collars. So what does your dog know? Does your dog know basic obedience? Does your dog know sit? Does your dog know down? Does your dog walk on a leash without pulling? Whether you call it heel or whether you just call it good manners, walking on a leash, one finger light. Does your dog have a good recall? When you tell your dog, hey, Muffins, come. Does your dog come running? Does your dog come to you? See, these are things that are fundamental, must be taught. And the only way to teach a dog something is, this dog is awesome, right? Because it just came over here and wanted to play. Like I'll put a little collar on this, and I'll say stay, right? Then I'll give, and now I don't have to put, she came over here before I even put that on there. And I give her a little food, and she knows, oh, that's a cool thing. And it's not about the food, it's that food marks stay. Oh, now see, look, right here is a perfect example of how you can screw up a dog with a leash. If I wasn't paying attention, if I was just doing my business, right, going about my business, and I let this dog stay here on this leash becomes just a hindrance. Sit, stay. And so, because that dog will begin to fight the pressure, begin to push back against the pressure. So I want that leash to stay, right? And this dog is not going to be on a shock collar, by the way. This dog doesn't need a shock collar, right? But before I could ever put an e-collar, a shock collar on a dog, it needs to have basic basic obedience. If it knows 4 commands or a combination of 4 commands like sit, stay, come, and down, if it knows down, stay, sit, stay, if it knows these things, right, then you can begin to use an e-collar to sharpen these behaviors, right? So what an e-collar does is it removes the leash, but keeps communication. If I have a shock collar, and I wish I had Muffins here right now, and probably will do a part 2 to this with Muffins, because Muffins she knows that this means Dad's in control, but Dad is way more relaxed when he's holding this and when she's wearing this. And the reason why is because this is really about me. It's not about my dog, right? The e-collar doesn't magic train your dog. There's a line of communication there. And what happens though is most of the time people get up on Amazon and they buy this model right here, the Pet Trainer. The Pet Trainer, these little cheap $49 e-collars. And they don't do any training with their dog. Their dog doesn't know sit, their dog doesn't know stay, their dog doesn't know come, doesn't know down, the dog doesn't know squat. They put an e-collar on and they start barking orders at their dog. Sit, back, sit, come, click, come, click, come, click. Dog whelps, dog runs away, dog goes into hiding, dog doesn't have a freaking clue. Because although they have a line of communication with their dog, it is like they're speaking Chinese to their dog. They might as well be speaking French. They might as well be speaking Spanish, and their dog doesn't understand any language. And people get an e-collar and they screw dogs up. Or a dog is barking, they start, put a bark collar on that dog. Put a bark collar on that dog. Shock that dog. I'm going to tell you what. This collar works when used properly. Maybe we should put a collar on the handler and a collar on the dog, and we'll see who responds faster. I guarantee the dog will. So I have never shocked myself. I've never shocked myself. Y'all see the red light going? I'm shocking myself in the neck. I've never done this, except into my palm. Anytime that red light's on, it's sending a stimulation. Holy shoot. I want to show y'all something. I'm on 6 right now. I can feel it. I can feel it. I'm going to go to 7. Oh, I can definitely feel that. Definitely. Now my dog responds at a 3 and maybe a 7. I'm shocking myself right now. I can feel it. Dude, this is fun. I should have done this way sooner. Oh, that's an 8. That's an 8. Whoo! Tickling. Whoo! Now, if I get to an 8 on my dog, it's because Muffins ain't paying attention and there's some live creatures around. Like if I get to an 8, it's because there's a deer that she wants to chase and her legs are shaking and her tails are going, her teeth are chatting, her lips. She wants to go after that deer and I'm holding her, right? Hold it, and I release her. Yes, go get it, sick them. And she sicks on them. And then when she gets right to their heels, it's Muffins off. And I'll hit her with a 3 and boom, she's off because she felt the 8. Look. All right. Now, I'm going to tell you something. This booger, I got a hickey there. I had it pushed in pretty hard. Goes to 100. Goes to 100. And I'm going to tell you right now, I will not shock myself. I won't shock myself probably on a 10. I probably won't. I'm kind of a baby like that. Dogs, we already know, have a threshold of pain far greater than our own. We already know this. By the way, shout out to Mia doing a great job. Sitting there just giving in. And I got Scout right here. Y'all can't see Scout, but Scout's laying down here too. Good job, Mia. These collars are not unethical. They're not inhumane. I got a Herm Sprenger prong collar over there. You know, I don't know which one works better, right? So the Herm Sprenger gives immediate correction to that pull of the leash, right? So does the e-collar. It can be used the same way. Once your dog has a good recall, if you want to tighten up that leash pull, you can use an e-collar to do it. And I don't know if it's any nicer than the Herm Sprenger or not. I know these things scare the general public, right? It's funny because what ends up happening is I'll go out with a client and their dog has, you know, a 70% recall, or sits down 70% of the time when they ask it. It'll stay for a few seconds. It'll do a few other things. It pulls on the leash every once in a while, things like that. And then they watch when I come out with Muffins, and I'll do some interaction with Muffins to see how their dog reacts to other dogs. Muffins will lay on their back and she'll submit real quickly. And it gives me an idea of how their dog may do with other dogs. And when people see me work Muffins with the e-collar, and most of the time I'm just holding it, I'm not even using it, right? And Muffins, she knows when she's working, right? She gets in her work mode, and the e-collar is very, very rarely even necessary. But because I started her very young on the e-collar, and because I was so consistent, like for probably 6 months straight, I used it for every command: sit, down, come. We don't use it for the stay command, because we're going to use it for the recall, right? And so there are some commands that you don't use it for. And when I started using it on her and seeing her freedom, and she was like, all of a sudden, no more leash, no more long line. Dad, 100%. When we go to train dogs at the park, I get to walk around and show off that I'm not on. All this stuff started happening, right? And now, to be honest with you, the only time I put this on is when I feel like I need it. Not because I think Muffins needs it. It's because it gives me a little bit of security. And even if I bump her like on a 3 or something, just to let her know, hey, come here. And she goes, oh, Dad got the collar out, right? I put this on her every day. I put this on her every day, especially when I'm out here at the kennels. I'll put it on her. Clients around, if she's going to be off leash at the park, if I'm training another dog and she's going to be around off leash. I have one dog on a leash and I have her on the e-collar. But what it does for me, it just gives me freedom with my own dog. When you go hiking, I have so many clients that their dogs are 80%, man. They're so 80%. And then they get out there on the hiking trail and boom, first deer, a deer, maybe they get through 3 deers, but all of a sudden the treats that mom's using to help me stay away from deer, all of a sudden the treat isn't as valuable at whatever inside me tells me to chase that deer. And so when I go hiking, we put it on her, and this thing's good for up to a mile. She could run off for a mile and I could hit her and I know she's coming back to me. And so The e-collar gives freedom to the owner as much as it gives freedom to the dog. Because you think about every time you push this, they're jerking that hamstring, or they pulling on that leash, or they're working some other training device. Every time you push this, you're going to check the dial. You're going to know what you're giving your dog, because you don't want to send the wrong message through the line of communication. That's really what the e-collar is. It's just another form, a line of communication. Just like Mika is on that leash right there, there is nothing. There's nothing. That thing is real super loose right now, by the way, Hunter. So it looks tight, but I want to stay. I want to show you that it's just loose under her, right? It looks tight, but it's not. That's just a line of communication with dogs. And so understand that the e-collar is a line of communication, but you already have to speak a language with your dog. So it doesn't matter the age. Why do you want the e-collar? I probably went over this, but really is if you live an active outdoor lifestyle and you want control of your dog. If you want control of your dog in the household, right? You live in the house and you have a lot of visitors come over and you want control, the e-collar can help. You know, maybe you're handicapped. The e-collar can help. It opens a line of communication and allows you to build a line of communication with your dog that your dog will understand. Your dog understands it. Hey, Mika, place. Yes. Sit. No. No. Yes, good. No. Come here. Good. Stay. Stay. See how that leash, right? This leash is a line of communication with Mika right now. And I woke her up and she's a little mad at me. Stay. No, stay. Good. I should just release her and put Scout up here. So I should have. You're good. You get so good. A form of communication with my dog. A form of communication with my dog. I had never shocked myself in the neck before today. I had always put it in my palm, and I always let my clients feel that e-collar in their palm. But the neck, different story. Doesn't feel any worse. It feels like you're getting your muscles electric twinged a little bit, a little electric shock therapy on your muscles. I will tell you, from 13 years of using an e-collar, from service dogs to general pets to active working dogs, they work. Doesn't matter the dog's age. It's all about the dog's life experiences. What does the dog know? What has the dog been through? It does not teach your dog anything. There are people that will tell you that they can teach your dog something with an electric shock collar. I personally disagree. Whether I'm right, wrong, or indifferent, I disagree. Can I force my dog to do something with an e-collar? Probably. Can I teach my dog to do something using an e-collar? I don't believe so. So I just want you to know the difference, because some people are like, I want to use the e-collar. I want to use the e-collar. Okay, cool. We're going to use the e-collar. But let's train your dog first. And once I believe your dog is trained, or once you believe your dog is trained, is really what it boils down to, because you're the dog trainer. You really don't need dog trainers anymore. You know how many some of the best dog trainers in the world have online courses that you can watch, listen, learn from. And so you really don't need dog trainers. We really don't need them. Just like we don't need Brazilian jiu-jitsu coaches, right? Or just like we don't need doctors, or just like we don't need mechanics, because you can watch. I think you know where I'm going with this. If you reach out to local trainers that use stimulation collars. Just watch. Watch how their dogs act. Watch how their dogs react. See a demo with a dog. The reason I tell you this is because there are improper ways to use any training. There's, like I said, like I started this video, there are improper ways to use a leash, and you can hurt a dog with a leash. And so I like the idea of training a dog with a rope and a bone. I like this. This is what I do. Sometimes the rope just gets longer. And I know a lot of people don't understand it. And I know Petco and PetSmart just outlawed them. Awesome. Awesome. Did I mention I'm an authorized dealer of probably the best units on the market? E-Collar Technologies. You can check them out. If you want to get one, let me know. I'll hook you up with Dad's pricing. Nobody beats Dad's pricing. So you can check. You can go online. You can look. Nobody beats Dad's pricing. And so if you're looking for an e-collar, you want some training, you want to use it, right? You want to use it for some reason. You're going to go off leash, you're going to go out in the woods, you're hunting, you want to play at the park, and you want your hands free. Maybe you're doing something with playing golf, or you're fishing. You want your dog hands free. You throw a little necklace around with the e-collar. It sets you free as much as it will set your dog free. Scout. See that? See, this is what we call a behavior that we like, and I didn't even ask for it. He's going, well, why did I get that? Why? Mika's like, well, why didn't I get something? Because Mika was doing cool too. Scout was just doing extra cool. Now I woke him up, and he's like, oh, we're playing again. Hey, e-collar technologies. This is called the Boss. Are e-collars right for you and your dog? I don't know. It's an individual thing. It's like asking, is a tennis racket right for your kid? I don't know your kid, right? What is your kid into? What is your dog into? You know, I have used e-collars on the smallest of dogs to the great biggest of dogs. They all respond. Some respond differently. Some dogs respond differently to electric stimulation. Some dogs respond differently to the Hermspringer prong collar. Some respond differently to food, right? If you have a dog that is super food driven, responds differently than a dog that is super motivated by a ball. And so understanding your dog is, what would you suggest training your dog without leash? I definitely would always have a leash on my dog or an e-collar. Like if you want your dog off leash, definitely the e-collar is the way to go, for sure. It's a huge, like there's no nervousness, right? When you're walking down the path and your dog's running around like a dog, and all of a sudden you see another dog. There's always that nervousness with your dog, especially if your dog sees the people before you see them and they already head that way, to then try to pull a dog off something that it's already clicked in his mind, I'm going to investigate. And so the e-collar gives me the ability that even when my dog beats me to the punch, like a lot of times I see something coming, I'm a very aware person with my dogs. Muffins, come. I'll get her to come towards me. General, come. Before they see what's going on. But when you make the mistake, the e-collar gives you the, hey, whoop, whoop, I'm talking to you. Old time. First time I ever heard it explained to me was explained to me by a man named Ryan Matthews 13 years ago. He was like tapping, if you're at the party, Michael, and I'm trying to get your attention, but there's a lot of ruckus and you're engaged with some other people and I'm calling your name and I don't get your attention, the next thing I can do is reach over and tap you on the shoulder. Most people that get tapped on the shoulder, first thing they do is turn it around. Well, the e-collar, the stimulation from the e-collar, like you saw me shock myself in this video is like a tap on the shoulder to your dog at the party. Your dog's under distraction, your dog's engaged, your dog is chasing something, wanting to go after something. Boom, tap them on the shoulder. They're going to turn around and look at you. Most of the time, they're going to come back to you. And so, hey, the other thing. Thank you, Sandra. We had a great time. That's not a good way to show up on my thing, though. Thanks for showing up on my my 4. See, like I've had thousands of people watch my live videos, and I got 4 right now, and I'm gonna do the same damn thing every day. Hey, tune in to Dog Training with Dad. If you got any questions, ask them right here. Send me a comment on YouTube. Send me a message on Facebook. Go hit the review on Facebook if you like the content you're watching. You want to see more of it. I got some exciting new stuff coming every day. Every day. Dog business is every day. So guess what? Live videos every day. I live in a content-rich environment where there'll be a different 4-legged furry friend being trained every day. I've also got 2. Oh my God. I've got 2 of them adorable puppies. And I got 3 more puppies coming for training. So I got 5 puppies coming here for extended stays. And I'm going to tell you right now, when you begin to see these puppies in the training that happens with these 6-week-old, 7-week-old, 8-week-old, 9-week-old puppies, I'm going to take you through a whole puppy training free right here on Dog Training with Dad. Thanks for watching. If you need an e-collar, hit me up. I'll hook it up.